What's going on, everyone? My name is Younes, this is Younes Productions. I do travel videos, tutorials, gear reviews, so if you're interested in this kind of topics and you would like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Nowadays, drones are getting more and more popular, and a lot of people would like to fly drones, post nice pictures, videos on social media, but not everybody knows how to start. And you can see all these content creators posting beautiful landscape pictures, videos on social media, and you would like to achieve the same result, but you don't know how to start. Well, in today's video, I would like to give you 3 useful tips that I think may help you in the world of drones as a beginner. So let's jump right into it. First, which drone should you buy? Which drone should I buy? I got asked this question a lot, and honestly, my answer is it depends on what would you use it for. But I also think that whether you want to use it for professional work or just for fun, if you never flew drones before, I highly recommend you to get one of the entry-level drones, and there are several reasons for it. First of all, you'd rather lose a $400 drone than a $2,000 drone. Secondly, today's entry-level drones for that price, for this compact size, has amazing camera features and has a bunch of safety features that you can rely on to have a safe flight, and it's more than enough for the most of consumers, most of the drone users to post on social media or just to show to your friends, family, or if you want to have nice B-rolls on your vlogs. But if you really don't want to spend money on entry-level drone and you want to use it for professional work, longer range distance is important to you, better camera quality, you want a better camera sensor, then I would go with a bigger high-end level drone like the Mavic 2 series. So which brand I would recommend and why? I think that DJI produces the best value for price, best value for product. Most of the content creators, professional videographers, photographers uses DJI's products. I use it personally and I trust DJI. I think their software is user-friendly, it's reliable, sometimes it has bugs, but which software doesn't. So overall, I think DJI is the best brand that you can go for. And I think the best entry-level drones are the Mavic Mini family, which includes the Mavic Mini and the Mavic Mini 2. The Mavic Mini 2 is the upgraded version of the Mavic Mini. So let's see the features of these drones. This is the Mavic Mini here, and the clip that you saw in the beginning of the video was shot on the Mavic Mini. As you can see, the biggest advantages of the Mavic Mini family is their size. They are so small, compact, that you can pack it easily for a travel. You don't have to worry about the size and weight of it. And the Mavic Mini and the Mavic Mini 2 weighs 249 grams, which has a reason for it. And I will explain in the second point of the video why it's important. So both of them have a 3-axis gimbal camera, which means that they can stabilize the camera in both 3 axes, pan, tilt and roll, so you would get a nicely, smoothly stabilized image. Both of them has a 12 megapixel camera, but the biggest difference between the Mavic Mini and Mavic Mini 2 that the Mavic Mini it's only capable of shooting in 2.7K, 30 FPS and HD of course, but the Mavic Mini 2 it's capable of shooting in 4K, 30 frames per second, and can even shoot in RAW images, which is good if you want to edit your photos in post. There's one more big difference between the minis. Is the controller. The Mavic Mini 2 has a different type of controller, which you can see here, and it has a software which called OcuSync 2.0, which feature allows to expand the 4-kilometer range of the Mavic Mini, expanding to 10 kilometers, but we know that in real life it's always less, but it's a huge difference. For those people who wanted a little compact drone able to go this far, it could be a deal breaker. So what this OcuSync 2.0 does is that basically switches between 2.4 and 5.8 GHz. These are the 2 frequencies that these drones operates between. So it gives more flexibility when there's a lot of interference in transmission. So it allows you to control over farther distances and there's a lower latency in the image as well. These are the most important features, and last but not least, the price. The Mavic Mini you can get for $400 in the official site of DJI, and if you get the Fly More combo, which I highly recommend because you got basically two more extra batteries, so overall you have 1.5 hour flight time, which is more than enough. So if you get the Fly More combo, you will pay $500, and the Mavic Mini 2, you can get it the basic setup for $480, and for the Fly More combo you should pay $630, which I think it's a really good price value ratio. So I highly recommend to get one of these bad boys. The second one, do you need a certification or exam to fly? Before talking about this topic, don't just rely on what I say or what other YouTubers say. Don't just take granted the information that you get from videos. I know it sounds a bit nuts, but you should Google it. You should do a research on your own, the local drone regulations, and type the name of your country, and you can get the most accurate informations by watching videos and do your own research on the internet. So you don't want to get a big fine because you were an idiot and irresponsibly flew over an airport thinking it might be a good idea to take some good pictures about the airplanes. I would like to talk about European and US regulations in a nutshell because that's where the most of the questions came from. It doesn't matter if your drone is under 250 grams, like the Mavic Mini and Mini 2, which was made in purpose for 249 grams. So you should register your Mavic Mini and Mavic Mini 2 and get an insurance to be able to register it. Without specific authorization from aviation authorities, you can fly your drone in open category, which includes A1, A2 and A3 according to the table, which link I put in the description and I will put in the video. So as you can see, each category has their own requirements. A1, A2, A3. I think the category A1 will apply for most of the users, and you can see that you can fly over uninvolved people, not over crowds. Here there's marked that no operator registration required, but now the rules has changed, and it depends on your country as well. Where I live in Hungary, you should register, and I think in most of European countries you should register your drone even below 250 grams. Of course, you need to read the owner manual. So you should perform an online training, pass an online test. Here in Hungary, we need to pass a live test to be able to fly legally. So I advise you to check this table, which provides a summary of the operations authorized in the open category for each class of drones, as defined currently by the EASA, which stands for European Union Aviation Safety Agency. And as I said, I put the link in the description, and study on your own this table. It's really useful to know it. So US regulations. Drones under 250 grams, you don't need to register them, but you still need to count with the consequences if you fly over a crowd or a city, or if you crash your drone in a building, in a car. That's why you need to get an insurance for your drone to fly safe. But you should know that there's restricted areas where you can't fly, but DJI software, DJI Fly Up, it's really safe and really smart. It's already registered all these restricted areas, and it will show you if you can fly there or not, if you need an authorization to be able to fly legally. So always respect these restrictions and always keep your eyes open. In some countries there's applications what you should use before flying, and you can check through these applications if this specific area is safe to fly or not, and before you start your flight. So in the US, if you want to fly legally, commercially, if you want to make money with your drone, if it's the part of your business, so you should do the Part 107 exam. So you have to pass the test in order to fly commercially your drone. Third one, what I recommend in your first flight. First of all, try to find a nice empty area, for example in the nature where there's nobody around you and you're not risking to fly into somebody or into a building. So you have a nice big space where you can practice in safe. Do not push the limits of your drone. I know that, for example, the Mavic Mini 2, it's claimed to have a 10-kilometer range, but I think that it's pointless to go that far away just to check if it's able to go that far, unless you're doing a YouTube video about the distance of this drone. And try not to rely on these safety features. These safety features, like the return to home, there's a button on your controller that you can press if you lose the signal and the drone can come back to the home point. These safety features are really good and it can save your drone, but do not just rely on these features. Try to use them when you must use them. Always check the weather conditions before flying. There's a really good application for this, which is called UAV Fly app. I highly recommend this application. It helped me a bunch of times. I wasn't sure about flying that day and I checked the weather conditions and it showed me that this day it's not good to fly. So if you're flying in 10-meter height and the wind is at 10 km per hour, it doesn't mean that in 100 meter it will be the same strength of wind. So that's why you want to check always the weather conditions before flying. One more important thing that you should consider if you're flying with the Mavic Mini, which hasn't got an advanced signal handling. If you're flying in a city, there's a lot of interference, like Wi-Fi or mobile networking frequencies, which can interrupt your signal between the drone and the controller. If you lose the signal in the city, you can crash your drone into buildings, into people, so it can be really dangerous. Only fly in a city if you have an authorization for it, or if you think that it's safe to fly and if you are 100% conscious about the capabilities of your drone and of your skills as well. Trees can also bother the connection between the controller and your drone, so try to make sure that there's no trees between the controller and your drone. Indoor flight. Should I recommend flying in your home, inside your home? I think that the Mavic Mini and Mavic Mini 2 are small drones enough to fly indoor. Both of them have the 360 safety guard. You should put them on and you can fly safely indoors in rooms. Always consider that if you're flying indoors, the drone itself is generating wind. These, let's say, strokes of wind can affect the hovering of your drone. It's hard to control it and you can smash it to the wall. And if you are allergic to dust, don't do it, because flying indoor, it generates so much dust that will make you sneeze all day. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful and you get one step closer to buying a drone or considering to enter to this world, which I think is beautiful. If you want to see more content like this, please like the video. Make sure you subscribe. I hope you're having a great day. Goodbye.